Hey, Deb.
Okay, we're on.
We are on. So, how are you doing today?
Good morning. It's almost Christmas.
Woo-woo! And today, our topic is going to be on. You're just taking a deep. No, it's going to be on homes. So,
On
or
homes?
houses. Actually,
On
houses.
Okay.
And most people just don't, I guess, realize our history about houses. And I think it's a cool story. And I think it's something that people can learn from, the idea of how we perceive houses. So how many houses have you owned?
Including condos?
Yes.
10.
10 houses. So
Correct.
some people might think that's kind of like a ridiculous number, right? Like many people have lived in the same house for their entire lives.
Yeah, that's great. That's if that makes them happy, I'm happy.
So why 10 houses? Like, what is your philosophy of like switching it out, for lack of better words?
It's a building. It's a place. The house is when your family is together. Then it's a home.
Right.
Other than that, it's just a fucking building.
It's just a fucking building.
Right. And if I wanted a different building, I get a different. I'm bored with that building. I want another one. I get a different building. Or I want to move. Or I want to try something else. Or I want to move up price wise.
Or down, right?
Or down. Correct. I get a different building. But it's a building. It's a home when the family's there.
When did you buy your first home? That I don't even know that.
You were just born. We bought our first home in about 69, maybe 69 or 70 in Cornwall, New York, on Beaver Dam Lake. It was a summer bungalow that was converted by someone to an all-year-round house.
Yeah.
We had an above-the-ground pool in the back,
yep.
and the lake was across the street. It was a 61-mile commute each way for me to go to work.
Was it important to you? Because did your mom own her house?
No, I lived with my grandmother. My grandmother owned her own house. Until I was 13, I lived with my grandmother, and my grandmother owned her own house.
Okay, so you have come from, because I know with some people, they come from a line of like renters or.
No, after that, I moved in an apartment with my mom. I didn't mind living in an apartment.
Yeah.
But from my financial point of view, owning your own house was a better deal. So we bought a house.
So I'm just
$30,500.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So
$30,000
starter home
was $30,500.
I'm trying to think. What is the current starter home now?
Probably 200 something.
I was going to say. I think I saw on
that house sold. I looked.
Yeah.
That house sold for like $275. Not too. With the last couple of years, it's probably even higher now. I think when I looked maybe 7 years ago, it sold I think for like $275. It's probably the $350 bracket now.
So I think I saw recently that a current starter home is $233,000.
Yeah, that's almost that house. Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, like, how do like a millennial or people starting out, like, I mean, what is your advice for them? Like, obviously, times are different, right?
Save no time. No. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Okay.
Just save money. Don't spend. First of all, you don't need cable. Okay. You don't need a fucking cell phone. Hello, there's a phone in the house. How did I live all those years, raise 2 kids without a cell phone?
Yeah.
I was a policeman. How did I make it to work and not need a cell phone?
Right.
You don't need. You could save hundreds of dollars a month.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't have cable. We had a fucking rabbit ears on the top. We watched 5 channels. How many more do you need? Okay. Unfortunately, now they're all lefty channels, but that's beside the point. But so there's a lot of ways to save money. You don't need a brand new car. You don't need you want to get a new car, don't get the most expensive one. Get the least expensive one.
For someone buying a house, what would you recommend? Like a millennial, how much do you think they should save? Like for the down payment?
30%.
30%.
Right. That's the recommended thing.
So what about just talking? Go ahead. No,
but saving 30%, the 30% down is important. But the other problem is you got so many debts beside that, and that's the killer for young people. And I feel bad for them. They got these goddamn student loans that are a killer.
Right.
Okay. I didn't have a student loan with it. I had one debt, my house.
Yeah.
We had crappy cars, no debt for the cars.
I mean, what do you think? So you were involved in the maintenance side of home, like with home warranties. Like maybe, what was it, 5 years ago?
Okay.
What do you think happened? Like, all of a sudden, mortgages, like, it all went to shit.
Because the mortgage companies would write a mortgage whether you're qualified for it or not. And the young people say, the price is going to go up. I'll buy it. I'll flip it. It'll go up in a couple of years. I'm not going to stay here forever. I'll sell it. I'll make money. Well, after a while, that didn't happen anymore. Mortgages were too easy to get. People were buying homes with no money down, no doc loan, no documents. I make $200,000 a year, except I got a 1965 car outside, and I got threadbare clothes. But what do you do, sir? I'm an executive. Okay, executive.
Whee!
No doc, no document loan. You can say anything, tell them anything, and you got a loan.
That's crazy. That's
Well, they do a credit check, yes. Okay.
Right.
So you got good credit. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
What do
you can make $500 a week and have good credit.
Truth.
You pay all your bills on time. You got good credit.
So I think back to the houses that we've had.
Right.
And
every house we've had has one thing in common.
Go ahead.
It was always we never paid. We always bought a house for less than we could afford, not for more than we could afford.
You know what? That was exactly the questioning that I was going to go down.
We never bought a house for what we could afford.
Yes.
We always bought a house for less than we could afford, not more than we could afford.
And
so we always had extra money. It was a little bit of a cushion. Something happened, you had some extra money.
So I feel like
when I bought that house for $30,500,
right.
My fellow police officers were buying houses for $50,000 because they were brand new in the development, working overtime. Their wife was working, and they were working, even looking to make it work another job.
Right.
I never worked overtime.
So I guess that's a good advice for people buying homes, because I feel like I have tried to follow that too. I mean, I think going that route is a safe route because so many people are like house poor and they're just like living beyond their means because
their friends have it.
Because their friends
Fuck your friends, man. Let them have the high debt. Okay.
No, but I think it's important.
They're your friends.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is,
you
go
know,
to a
people you know.
Company, right? You go to a mortgage company and they're like, you can get a house that's
right. So I'm in the mortgage business.
$400,000.
I'm in the mortgage business. Do I want to write a mortgage and do all the paperwork for a $200,000 mortgage, or the same paperwork for a $400,000? Where I make more commission on? Duh, that's a no-brainer.
But people don't realize that.
No. They know, but they don't want to know. They know. Come on, everybody knows in their gut what they really can afford.
True.
They know. Come on. The bullshit. I qualify for $400,000. The guy fucking knows he really can only afford $200,000. And this schmuck's, I can get $400,000. He goes to work and guess what? We qualify for $400,000 loan. Ain't that some shit? Get out, please. Get out, please. It's called the bubble.
Well, and also I think it goes back to like a house is just a house. Who gives a shit what it looks like? Not what it looks like, but I mean, who gives a shit how fucking big it is? And the plot of land it's on and all this bullshit. It's really I
lived in my grandmother's house. There was 5 of us in there with one toilet in a 3-bedroom house. Okay. I never shit outside. I always shit in the toilet. I took a bath in that one bathroom. I always made it somehow to take a dump and take a shower when I needed one. And all the other 4 people in the house did the same thing. How did we make it with one bathroom?
Yeah.
Duh. Come on. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
Ridiculous. Only one person can take a dump at a time. You don't need 5 bathrooms, or 3 bedrooms.
It is nice, though.
It is, but it's a lot of things.
You're right.
A lot of things are nice.
True.
But okay, you need a car to get to work. You could drive a Mercedes to work or a Ford to work. Mercedes is nice, but Ford gets you to work every day.
Right.
Okay, a lot less money.
Okay, so you've had these 10 houses, right? And I know I think 1 or 2 are brand new, and 1 you. Right?
1 or 2. Let's see. Give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3 were brand new.
I mean, what is the pros and cons of like a brand new versus old house? Like,
money. This is something I've told you. If you don't have a lot of money, you want to buy a brand new house.
Right. Because
you don't need a lot of money to do the repairs. You got no money for the downer. You got to buy a brand new house. The odds are you're going to be in it 10 years before you're going to start worrying about repairs. You buy an older house, you better have some money on the side because you got to figure repairs.
even with home warranty.
Even with home warranty, and nothing covers everything. And there's not a lot of things aren't covered by the home warranty.
Yeah.
You need new carpet, you need new windows, you need new doors, a new roof. So no, you if you've got a small amount of money, buy a new house, or the newest house you can find.
Yeah. Good advice. What do you think? So what was, you've gone up and you've gone down in houses, and they've all been like awesome homes, but
No,
they were houses.
Right, they were a home because you were there,
Yes.
and Sarah was there, and Lisa and the boys.
Yeah.
It was a home when everybody was there, right? Of course, and we all had a good time, regardless up, down, what size it was.
Absolutely.
We always had fun.
I'm curious, what was the biggest financial loss on a house? If you can say how much it was. If you don't, it's fine. And what did that teach you? Have you ever taken a huge loss on a home?
We came very close because we had a very unscrupulous builder,
Yeah.
and we got all our money out of it. We should have made money on the house when we sold it, but we didn't because the guy got us for about $135,000.
And so, what did you learn from that one?
Should have shot the motherfucker is what I learned,
Okay,
but I didn't have the guts. Never ever pay cash for a house. Because if I had a bank mortgage on that house, the bank would have gone through, this guy would have been forced to perform sections of the house to get money released. I was too kind to this guy because I knew him.
Right.
Okay. And that would have never happened had there been a mortgage because the money wouldn't have been released. So even if you have cash to buy a house, it's nice to have the bank or somebody behind you going through, making sure everything is done before you release the money.
Makes sense.
Now, you could do that. You could hire somebody to do that. We did that. We built a house in Hilton Head. Your mom did. And she hired a project manager to help her. And he didn't tell you, well, okay, write a check until stuff was done.
Right.
Had we had it on that house, that wouldn't have happened.
What about the house or the condo? Did you lose money on
Yes,
the
I
condo?
take that back. We lost money.
You lose money on the condo?
We lost money on the condo, yes.
And I mean...
Because that's when we bought it at the wrong time. We bought it when stuff was up, and then the market went down in the south, and we got hurt. Bought the condo. Yep, lost money.
But what was your?
What did I take away from that?
Yeah.
Never buy when it's high.
But I feel like you don't have regrets because you had a goal. You wanted to move here to be with us full time. And you wanted to have the money to do things.
Yeah, do I regret losing money on the house?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Do I regret losing money on the house? Yes. Do I really care about it to this day? Absolutely not.
No.
Would I have stayed there waiting for it to go up? Absolutely not. Missed all the time with you and Sarah and boys? No way.
Yeah. You can't regain that time. Fuck it.
Right. Time. You cannot buy time. Okay.
Right.
It's not for sale. Okay. Sometimes you got to give up money to get time. And I gave up money to get time.
True that.
Hey, worth every penny. Worth every penny.
Anything else, that you would recommend or suggest for people who are buying a house or, just... buy less than you can afford. Number one.
No, that's the number one deal.
Yeah.
Buy less than you can afford. Unless you've got a big stash of cash, don't buy a house that's a fixer-upper, okay? Because you're going to need 3 times what you think you're going to need.
What about what about in terms of advice, buying I live on a street that's kind of populated. Do you buy the most expensive house, the lowest house?
Lowest to the lowest price house to just a little bit above that.
Okay.
But you can't get hurt.
You can't get hurt.
You buy the most expensive house, you could get hurt. Buy the lower price house on the block, you're not going to get hurt.
Yeah. So looking at the numbers is definitely important.
It's all about numbers.
Right. That's all it is.
It's all about numbers and how you feel and learning to realizing you can make it with a bath and a half. You don't need 3 baths.
Yeah.
Okay. How many bedrooms do you really need? Think about it. Okay. How much space do you really need?
Yeah.
A lot of these people are buying these big houses. Do they really need all that space? If you're going to be there forever, if you got a job that You're going to be there. If you got a job, you know you're going to be in this job for 30 years, and there's very few of those, then maybe you want to plan for a bigger house.
Yeah.
But if you got typical today, no one lasted a job maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years.
Yeah.
Then you got to be prepared to deal with that.
Very cool. Always good with advice, Dad. This was homes, houses,
condo.
Yeah.
Move to Pittsburgh. If you're young, move to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got all kinds of great ratings, great place to live.
Yeah.
You can buy great housing here for small amounts of money compared to other places.
Yeah.
The people are the nicest people. Paid for by the Pittsburgh Department of Commerce. No.
Sponsor.
Sponsored by. No. The fucking Democrats, they don't sponsor shit.
Okay. We're going to end it with that.
Okay.
We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Thank you.